and welcome back to City Skylines, and welcome back to Emerald County. Ladies and gentlemen, today is part 28 of this particular Let's Build series, and we are once again in the heart of Emerald City, where I imagine we're going to end up spending quite a bit of time, because this project is... I'll be honest, I had planned for the Emerald County Let's Build series to be wrapping up around episode 30. I thought that bringing it back after a 1-month hiatus for part 27, 28, 29, and 30 would mean that we'd have a solid month of Emerald County before the project is considered done, and then we move on to something else. That's not gonna happen, because this project is going to take a while, especially since I added the 81 tiles mod. That doesn't mean I'm going to fill out the entire map, but it does mean I have a lot more space to play with, and I certainly play with that space today. So, with that said, what are we going to be tackling in today's episode? Well, we're tackling a multitude of things. At first, I was playing with roads, then I end up adding a hypermarket, then I add some more roads, I play around with a stadium, I play around with a lot of decorations, I make the train station look a bit interesting, and then we have some real-time stuff later in this episode, and I'm not going to spoil that bit, because that's real-time, and spoiling it would be kind of silly. So, at the moment, as you can see, I'm going ahead and adding in the hypermarket. I do want to take a moment to say that the time-lapse might look a little bit quicker than it usually is. That's because it is a little bit quicker than it usually is. That's because I end up placing a whole heap of cars. I place a lot of parked cars, both in the parking lots outside of the hypermarket here, and later on in the episode, when I'm placing the stadium once again. There are going to be a whole bunch of cars. I will say, it was nice adding all of these details to the back of the hypermarket. I felt like adding those smaller box trucks in the loading bays, adding these larger trucks at the sides, it all just made it feel, I guess, like there was stuff going on back there, because there wasn't really going to be anything back there anyway. So it was nice to go ahead and get something going on in that space. And as you can see, it's time to add in the cars. Now, this took a while. This took some serious time to do, and if you've ever tried placing car assets in City Skylines like this, then you'll be aware that it's not necessarily hard to do, it just takes a lot of time, and it's not the most fun thing to do, but it's so rewarding when you get it done. I wound up live streaming a part of this build process. I got into the office early on Friday morning, this Friday just passed. When this video goes out, it's the 9th of October 2016, so the Friday just before that. I got in super early. I spent like 2 hours working on this project, and then I started to stream this project. And I was working on it from, say, about 10:30, maybe 11 in the morning, until about 5 in the evening. Sort of on and off. I was doing bits of recording here and there, I was doing little things that I didn't want in the recording. You know, I was working on it, trying to make it good. That's why this episode didn't go out on Friday, although it should have. And that's why, you know, the time-lapse is a little bit all over the place in a couple of areas. We sort of jump about from one project to another. At one point in this time-lapse, we're going to jump to the stadium. In fact, we're going to be doing that kind of soon. Then we jump away from the stadium to work on the train station. Then we jump back to the stadium. There are 2 reasons for that. Number one, I sort of wanted to just jump back and forth and do little bits and pieces here and there to make the city feel a little bit more dense and more alive and like there's more going on. And the second reason is because I was and still am kind of ill. I have a pretty rough cold at the moment, and it's nothing too bad. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, woe is me, I have this horrendous, terrible cold. It's not that bad. It's just that when I have a cold or when I'm remotely sick, I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's it. That's all I'm doing, whatever I want to do. And what I wanted to do was jump back and forth. Anyway, as you can see, it's time to go ahead and expand the keys around the city a little bit further. I wasn't originally planning on doing this, Wasn't necessarily something I had thought I would be doing, but it worked. It definitely worked. Definitely made the whole city just feel a bit better, a bit more like a built-up area, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, this area here that you're seeing is obviously where the stadium's going. Emerald City Football Club finally has another home. The stadium was demolished along with the old city, and now they have this one. And, of course, as you can see, there's a bunch of parking lots in front of it. And you know what that means? That means that at some point, I'm going to have to go ahead and I'm going to have to fill up most of those spaces with a whole bunch of cars, except that's not all of the parking lots. There's more of them. There's a lot more of them. This was done on a live stream, might I remind you. This was done on a live stream to almost 200 people. A stream which actually maintained more viewers than the official Paradox live stream for a little while, which was impressive, and I'm very proud of that. Very, very proud of that. I also discovered that there's a couple of people at Paradox that know of my tiered city, which was awesome. I went to watch their live stream after I was done, and they were talking about it because I hosted their stream on Twitch, which is basically a system, if you don't know, that puts their live stream on my channel for my viewers to see. So I ended my stream, immediately hosted theirs so my viewers could see that stream. And they saw the host and were like, oh, it's ConflictNerd. He's got a tiered city thing. He's got a cool city. I want to blow it up. That was like the first thing they said. And I'm flattered. Like, I'm legitimately so happy that people at Paradox know of my tiered city build. That was awesome. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit distracted and not really talking about what's going on, which is a thing that I probably should do. So, as you saw, I went ahead and placed all of the parking lots for the stadium. I have a bit more zoning just there with residential zoning. I have another area that's going to be some parks and all that stuff by the water. Basically, this is what I was talking about by jumping back and forth. I jumped from the stadium to do that other area. Now we're back at the stadium, placing the cars and all that stuff. It's a little bit all over the place, but hopefully you can follow what's going on. And as you can see, this car park is really big. It's a really big car park, and this just... Oh man, it took a while, but again, once it's done, it's so rewarding because it just looks so proper, you know? An area like this should absolutely have a whole bunch of cars in it. So we're gonna go ahead and cut ahead just a little bit to do some work on the train station. Now what I did here was I went to the Steam Workshop and I finally downloaded a mod that I have needed in my life for so long. I can't remember the name of it, but if you play City Skylines with mods, you probably know of it. It lets you place large decals on the ground. I'm sure you've heard of this mod. Basically, what I did here was I went ahead and used the terrain painting mod to put down a bunch of dirt. Then I used this decal mod to further detail it and blend it with the surroundings. Now you might notice here and there are bits of the dirt and the decals that extend onto the roads, and that is completely intentional. That is something that I was intentionally doing because all of this dirt and all of the grime and muck and stone and everything would be getting kicked up and blown around, and it would absolutely end up on the road. And interestingly, this is the part of the live stream where I introduced my stream chat to a new word. And if you look in the comments of this video, if the stream chat has done as I asked them to do, you should see that word. If you weren't in the stream, you're not going to know what I'm talking about, but that word absolutely should be in the comments of this video. I saw a couple of comments of that word in the comment section of the latest, not Emerald County, this is Emerald County, of the latest vanilla Let's Play episode. I've lost my train of thought. Basically, that word was in the comments of that video, should be in the comments of this one. But yes, I decided that with this train station, I would put a couple of extra bits of track with some cargo trains, or at least the sort of cargo part of those trains on the tracks. And I know that's a little bit strange, But this station does have cargo trains that go through it. And this is the middle of the city, and this is effectively sort of the only place. This would be a good place for cargo trains to let off some of their cargo, basically, was my thinking. Because they can it's right in the heart of the city. I just thought that might be an interesting way to do things. It did also let me just go ahead and get a little bit more detail in here to make it look like less of just a big old barren area. And I also, added to that by adding some of these site offices. I added some generators. I add a lot of traffic cones because I love traffic cones. They're kind of cool. Interesting story about traffic cones. And this is quite the it's quite the tangent. A few years ago, my 70-something-year-old granddad arrived home one evening with a traffic cone. And to this day, I don't know where he got it. I don't know why he brought it home. He wasn't drunk. He just decided to bring it home. And I'm pretty sure we still have it somewhere. I think we might. I don't know if he brought it home or if somehow we wound up with a traffic cone. And I know that he was involved. And I heard that he brought it home, but I don't know if that was a joke. I'm really confused about this particular story. I just thought I'd share that because, traffic cones and YouTube's about sharing things, right? Broadcast yourself and all that. Unless it goes against our terms of service, in which case get lost. But sure, that's an interesting thing. Who actually remembers when YouTube's tagline was broadcast yourself? Because I do. I remember that quite well. That was a good tagline. It was catchy. Anyway, as you can see, I've gone ahead and added a whole bunch of parks into the middle of Emerald City in the space that I believe in the previous episode I said I was going to add some parks. One of them might look a little bit like a Triforce. That was intentional. I have never played. That's a lie. I have played 20 minutes of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Haven't played any. No, that's also a lie. I played the one with the tree. The one with the great Deku tree at the start. I've played 20 minutes of that one too. I don't get it. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad games. I just can't get into them. Cannot do it. But I decided I would add Triforce Park into the middle of Emerald City because Link often wears green, which Emerald is a shade of green. That wasn't really why I added it there. I sort of just added it in the middle of a live stream because I realized that I was streaming it to Twitch. I saw a triangle. I said the words Illuminati confirmed, so I made it a Triforce instead. And then I really triggered all of the Legend of Zelda fans by saying the words Zelda is my favorite protagonist. Yeah, they weren't very happy about that one, but I like annoying people from time to time. Anyway, I'm just going ahead here and adding in a sort of parking lot / impound lot for the police station. I imagine that the police cars are there for parking. Those cars that are civilian cars are there for the impound lot. Then I added some decals and all that stuff to make the area look a little bit more used, and I also decided it would be a good idea to do something similar for the fire station, which I figured, might be a good idea. So I did. I go ahead and add another yard for the fire station. We get, I believe, 6 or so fire trucks in here, maybe 7. I also added a burning vehicle, which you might be wondering why. Basically, I decided, hey, they could do some training. You know the way some stations have a sort of simulation building that they need to deal with? I decided my simulation would be a burning vehicle. And then I put a fire truck beside it. You didn't see it in the time-lapse, but you'll see it in a cinematic somewhere in this video. You'll see it somewhere. It does exist. It looked kind of cool. Looked kind of interesting. I'm kind of happy with it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, it was basically a case of going ahead and just detailing the space around the stadium with a bunch of bushes, a bunch of trees, nothing you haven't seen before. It was a fairly simple, straightforward process. I didn't focus too much on making these areas parks in the same way I did for the knockoff Lower Manhattan, because the focus of this area is the stadium, not the area around it. Even though it's beautiful, you focus on Emerald City Football Club. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to... You thought I was going to say I'm going to leave it there, and then you looked at how long the video is. Nope. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to pass it off to my past self, my future self for you, but my past self for me, because I recorded the real-time part yesterday for me, and I'm not commentating this bit today for me. So with that, and with that really confusing explanation out of the way, I hand it off to my past self to do some real-time stuff with the city. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this part of the video. And hopefully you will enjoy the rest of the video. So with that, I hand it off to me. And just like that, we are in the game. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time we go ahead and get ourselves another entrance to Emerald City, because the one we have is not enough. I mean, don't get me wrong, this entrance is cool. I really, really like these sort of looping and spiraling entrances. That's why I went ahead and downloaded them, and it's why I sort of made a big looping curve thing of my own out of the 4-lane avenue, but it's just not enough to get people into the city, especially since every bit of traffic for the city at the moment is coming through here, even traffic that doesn't want to be at this end of the city. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna fix that. And my thinking is that I could do that just over here. So obviously we have this bridge here that leads out from this kind of central space in the city, this kind of major road, which is definitely a major road because it sort of connects this bottom end of the city, the kind of Manhattan-style area, to everything else, which is ever-growing. So having a way for people to get here without having to go through here is gonna be super important. So what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna expand this road pretty much in a straight line for a little bit. And you might be wondering, well, why are you using an avenue? Why aren't you using highways? And the reason I'm not using highways is actually kind of simple. Basically, I'm gonna expand the city to this side of the river as well. That's something people have wanted me to do for a while, and it's something I've wanted to do for a while. So the city is going to exist on this side of the river. I don't see any reason for it not to exist over here, so that is absolutely a thing we're going to be doing. We're not going to be doing that today. I am just going to be working on this particular bit of road today. That was not the angle I wanted for that. I am just going to be working on this particular bit of road today, like I said. Now that's a weird angle there. That is very strange. Did I do this wrong? Let's see, because what I want to do here is I want to go, I guess, I want to do like 135? Maybe we'll just do a big kind of 90-degree turn. Maybe we'll do something bigger. Let's go 20 and 10, and then 10 and 20. No, that doesn't look very good either. I also have the Anarchy mod still on, so all of the trees are currently in my road. I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's just turn Prop and Tree Anarchy off. And let's give this another shot then. So that needs to be 135. And then this needs to be 135 as well. So it would go like that. Which is fine by me. Okay. Then I want to continue this straight across. And what I'm thinking is that it might be a good idea to lower this bit of road to go underneath the train line. So we'll do that. We'll go to about there. And we'll come back up like so. And that seems fine. Doesn't look like too much of a big deal. And then I don't really know how far I'm gonna extend the city on this side of the river. Probably a fair bit. I think it's not necessarily gonna be a suburban zone. I don't really think I'm gonna bother with a proper suburban zone for Emerald City. Well, I might do one over here, but I'm not really thinking here's the spot. This is sort of gonna be built up with the Brooklyn-style buildings. And I'm thinking I might get rid of the Brooklyn-style from the middle of this. Well, I might keep it here. I really like it in this space, but I'm thinking for a lot of this, we could get rid of it so that the kind of inner city space has a lot more height to it. Then out here is that lower style of building. I like that as an idea. I'm just not 100% on it at the moment. But we'll totally see. What I am going to do... Oh, no, that is not what I wanted. Let's change it back like that. I don't really want the... I don't want the arch. I don't want the arches. I kind of want the suspension bridge. But I kind of also want a divider. Which, I guess can I get with this? Oh, now look at that. Oh, that is staying. That is absolutely staying. Traffic is going to have to merge down here, but that's fine. That is completely fine. That's a beautiful bridge. Totally keeping it. What about this side? I feel like this side's fine, having the slightly more classic look suspension bridge, but this side is beautiful. All right. I guess what we'll do then is I could connect straight up to here. That is definitely an idea that I think I might go with, just because it is kind of the easiest thing I can do as well, and it kind of makes sense. I do like the idea maybe of having another curve here, but maybe a slightly bigger one. So we'll do 135 like that. We'll go 20 and 135 like that. So it's still sort of all following the same line, which is obviously very important, but it also has some curves in it, which I'm going to want out here. I think I'm definitely going to want those. So with that, let's just go ahead and pause the game and tear out some sections of highway here so that I can go ahead and get a nice intersection. And I feel like an intersection out here probably should be something... I love that. I'm about to say should be something simple. I clicked this as the intersection. What about this one? Unfortunately, that one's raised, so that's not really going to be an option. This one's pretty cool. I do like this one. I don't think it's the one I used over here either. No, it's not. So that one's definitely an option. This one I'm quite a fan of as well. That one's interesting too, but it is raised up, which I'm not really wanting. Maybe we just go for something... Is that the same as that one? I think it's similar. I think that's kind of an inverse. Okay, let's maybe just stick with something kind of simple. We could go for this one. That's definitely an option, which I think might be a good one. It's a bit more of an understated entrance to a city as well, which I think is kind of a good thing. So if I do that, which I kind of like, the terrain goes a bit weird with it, but that's not too much of a big deal. Let's connect you to there and connect you to there. Sort of like that. And we'll connect this to that bit, which could do with a curve. I could probably get a curve there as well. So we'll do that. There we go. And then I just need to go from about there and go straight on. So this entire area is changing shape just a little bit, but that's okay. We'll go to about there. And what I want to do is connect you guys together, go from kind of the midpoint for about, I'll say, 5 units. We're going to turn these 2 sections of road into some 2-lane highways. And then we're going to connect straight from there and there. All right. In fact, we're not going to do that. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go 4 units and connect like that. And 4 units and connect like that, because it gives us a nice bit of... it gives us a nice thick connection here, as opposed to sort of having it sort of pinch in a little bit, I guess, would be the way to put it. It just makes it look better, is what I'm going for. I feel like it definitely makes it look better. So go 6 units there. We'll do a nice little... No, that's not right. Sort of 9 units? Nope. That was 8. That's 9. That seems okay. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's a connection to the city that didn't previously exist. So this could be interesting. What I'm also thinking is I might actually go ahead and just change this entire road into the 4-lane road. Because if I do this, what happens is, you know, there's more space for traffic to move. It means later down the line, I can go ahead and, you know, get some roads going off of this without too much hassle. It also means I can come over here and I can change some bits of this road. So this can have 4 lanes going in. That can have 4 lanes going out. I know it looks silly, but bear with me. Then this can have 2 lanes going that way. Which again is a bit silly, but it just lets more traffic flow. And since I'm dealing with the entrance to a city that is, you know, quite busy, I want traffic to flow as best as it can. The only downside, of course, is actually getting this to connect, which might be tricky. Let's see. So let's try doing... Well, let's try that, which doesn't work. Okay. What if we were to turn this into 2 lanes again? Then we continue this down to that point, and then have it sort of curve in as well. Oh. Oh, no, that's nasty. That was just nasty. That was particularly bad. All right, what if instead... I don't know if this is actually going to work. You might have noticed. I could do that, but again, that's nasty. I'm not a big fan. All right, let's change it back and just get something that works. Let's not bother with trying to be fancy. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a working bridge if I ever did see one. And that's some pretty big news, because that means that we have a second connection into Emerald City. It is a little bit messy up towards the highway, but that's okay, because thus far, it seems to be working, and traffic's also using more than 1 lane. That's pretty big news too. Now for this side of the city, I'm not entirely sure what to do. I kind of like the idea of doing a tunnel, and not necessarily, you know, going underground as such. I want to go straight through the mountain. I think going straight through the mountain could be really, really cool. It's just going to be a little bit tricky, because I don't currently have the node editor mod, so going straight through a mountain in City Skylines, well, that's easier said than done. I mean, that doesn't look so bad. That kind of looks like it is still going under the mountain, but it was getting there. I would say it's getting there. If we go 12 units and I do, let's see. Does that look? That kind of looks like it's going through the mountain. I can get behind that. All right, so let's just have this sort of curve around to there. Now that is a spike in a road if I ever saw one. Oh my. Let's try and bring that up then. Hold on a minute. Let me get a straight bit of road. So we do that, and yeah, that's maybe a bit tall. That is maybe just a little bit tall. Let's bring that down to there. Maybe a little bit less. Bring it down to there. And bring it up like that. Now that's a bit weird too. Now that seems like a reasonable height to me. Because what I want to do is I want to keep this raised. Now that's not quite perfect, but that'll do. Because I want to go straight across here with another bridge. Because I think that would look really cool if we have this bridge sort of come out, then go straight back into the mountain. So something a bit like that. So the bridge comes out of this cliff and then into that one. And then we go through this one and sort of out over here, is what I'm thinking. Because then you get this really, really cool view as if you come into the city from this side, or if you leave the city from this side, you just get a really awesome view. So if we come to it there, and I go like that, that seems fine to me. I like it. I do. Gives us a nice slope there, and I can get a connection sort of... It's going to have to be here, because it's a bit close to this junction already. But that's not so bad. That is not so bad. I like it. I love this road. I'm going to try and tidy this a little bit up, because it is a bit of a mess, but... Oh, it's beautiful. I really, really do love it. All right, let's see if we can tidy this. Let's make the brush a bit bigger. Let's just bring the size down a little bit, make it nice and precise. And if we just sort of smooth that out, that immediately sort of just makes it look better. So smooth this bit out over here as well. Just like that. And I think that looks absolutely beautiful to me. I really do love that. I do want to say, by the way, before anyone comments saying, this sounds like I'm having a go, good lord, that got really serious. Oh, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. No, before anyone comments saying, you know, deal with death waves, deal with abandoned buildings, deal with garbage, deal with workers, I'm gonna deal with that eventually. Right now, my focus is just on making this place look good. That is all I want to do. If you are, by any chance, new to Emerald County, then it is a creative-focused series. It's not necessarily focused on management. That is why I have a vanilla Let's Play. This is all about, you know, making it look good, and then dealing with the consequences later. which is what I'm going to do. I will deal with the consequences at a later point. So for the time being, I feel like that's a pretty cool entrance to a city. And I feel like I want to move it a little bit to like there. I just want to get it as close to this the tunnel entrance as I can. I guess I could move the tunnel entrance, but I don't necessarily want to is the problem. We could do this kind of thing, which gets us pretty close indeed. So I think we'll do that, just because it gets us pretty close. And obviously, we do have the slight issue where, you know, traffic has just got from one sort of intersection to another, but I'm afraid we're going to have to deal with that. So let's just connect you to there, and connect you to there. And let's see. I reckon a lot of traffic is going to go... What I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to turn this into a 4-lane road again. I'm going to turn this into a 4-lane road as well. Then these lanes are going to be... This is going to be for 2 lanes of traffic, basically. So that way, traffic can get about without too much hassle. Hopefully. So we'll do all of that. We'll do that as well. And hopefully that means that traffic can just flow about here really nicely. That's what I'm hoping for. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I can dream. It also means that traffic can filter through these junctions a little bit better, which is exactly what we want. As for over here, you've got 4 lanes of traffic merging into 3, merging into 2, so that's a bit of a problem, but we'll work that out. What I do want to do is that, and I also want to do, I guess, that, and then just turn that into a... I guess I could just turn it into an avenue, couldn't I? One of these ones. So if I do that, that does condense down to 2 lanes of traffic, but I think that's okay. What I would like to do is connect you to there, and you to there, and there we go. That looks pretty good to me. I like it. I do want to make one small change with the lanes to make sure that they are functioning the way they should be, so that no one's going to be making any illegal U-turns there. But that seems good. I like it. I could go up to 4 lanes, but I don't think we need to. I think that's okay. Now, I'm excited because I want to see traffic using this, and they are immediately. Look at this. They're going to come through the mountain any second. And they're going to get a beautiful view as they do. Oh my god, can you... I have the mod enabled that lets you see inside tunnels, don't I? They look ridiculous. But that is pretty cool to see. Traffic going along there. And then we should have traffic coming out on this side as well. Or maybe we don't. But that's fine. I do realize I have just created a road that goes from pretty much the top end of the map to the bottom end of the map without going along this highway. I kind of hope that none of my traffic in Emerald County opts to do that, because that would be a little bit annoying, but I'm still quite happy with this as well. I think this looks pretty cool. I do want to make a small change here, though, to make this look like it is going into a hill a bit more. So if I do that kind of thing there, and just raise the terrain up a little bit, it just sort of, you know, gives you the idea that this tunnel is absolutely going into the side of the mountain, as opposed to, yeah, as opposed to just going underground. That's what we're trying to avoid. Apparently, I can't words today. I've probably explained it in the time-lapse section of this video. I don't know, because I haven't recorded that part yet, because I'm doing this part first, which is silly, because I really should record the time-lapse part first, because that's the first part of the video, but oh well, things happen. I decided to do this bit first because I'm really enjoying building this. It's a lot of fun. Let me just mess with the water a little bit. I want to just bring out a little kind of outcropping of rock there. And I'll do similar just over here. Just bring out a little bit of kind of rock like that, just to make it look a little bit less smooth along here. I think it's just kind of cool. You know, just little bits of variation in the bank of the river. Definitely looks interesting. I do also think I might want to bring this key the whole way around. I brought it, if you haven't already noticed, I brought the key over this way, so it sort of flows the whole way around the city on that side. I feel like doing the same thing here is going to be a good idea. So, Let's try that. Just like so. And can I get away with that? Oh, I can. There we go. That was a cheeky little key there. We'll go like so. We'll go like that. And can I get just a straight section down there? I sort of can. It's a bit weird, though. Let's see. Can I go from there to there? Why does it dip? Why would it dip? That seems kind of silly. Let's see. Let's try from this side again. Again, not quite sure why it's dipping. It's a little bit weird, that. So if I do that, it's gonna dip, isn't it? Yeah. That's kind of silly. I guess we'll just leave the key where it was. That's not gonna happen right now. That's a shame. I'll bring it the whole way back because it does look a bit weird there. I like it under the bridge. Speaking of bridge, wow. There is a lot of traffic opting to use that. I guess I assume that, yeah, this bit... Oh, no, this bit's still super busy. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's super busy. Hopefully, traffic will filter out a little bit. I do sort of feel like maybe we should upgrade this bit and this bit so that traffic can filter out a little bit better. Because then any traffic going to the right can get in lane immediately. And then traffic going straight on can also do the same thing. It actually has me considering turning this whole thing into an 8-lane bridge. Which I think, to be honest, I'm gonna do. Despite really liking the other style of bridge for that particular location. I do also really like the separation in the tunnel there. That's quite nice. So let me just do the same thing over there, even though we don't need to. This bit of bridge is going to stay as is. We're going to have 8 lanes up to that point. Then if I go underground, I'll just upgrade that entire section of road, like so. But that seems fine to me. That'll hopefully filter traffic a little bit better. This bit is obviously going to be busy because of traffic lights and, well, all sorts of things. There's just a lot of traffic coming in there. But I like it. We have a couple of new entrances to the city. This one sort of curves quite nicely. It's a bit of a mess up here, but I absolutely look forward to getting some good zoning over on this side. And I think, to be honest, I'm probably just going to follow the train line as I do it. So, I guess I could plan it a little bit. I don't think that would hurt. I think getting a little bit of planning in here would be a nice thing to do. So, let's go to there. And basically, this is just going to run parallel to the train line. Pretty much right against the train line, as you can see. And up to about there. And then I think I was going to say the train line curves. I think I've just got it slightly wonky. I think my oh dear. That was not what I wanted to do. That was a little bit of a mistake. Let's connect you back up. And let's see if I can get this to run parallel. Come on, work with me, cities. Just work with me. So, give me this. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. Perfectly parallel. With some perfectly parallel plosives on my microphone. There we go. That was a little bit more alliteration for your ears. And I like this. I really do. I like how this is looking. I like the idea of having this running parallel to the train line. I think that could be good. We'll run it up to about there. And then this is just going to be a grid over here, by the way. Just as an FYI. It is just going to be a grid. I think it might be a good idea, though, to change that up a little bit. We'll just get rid of those 2 bits of train line as well, so I can continue this straight across. Like I said, it is just going to be one big old stretch of road, which is going to go like that. Slopes up a little bit. Looks a bit weird, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. What we do need to do is... I'm going to say merge these. I'm going to say merging those could be a good move. So we'll do that kind of thing. And then I just need the train line to sort of curve around. So let's go 10 and about 10, I guess. Let's have that slope from 12 meters to 9 meters. It's about 95 degrees. I want 90. And then go 10 and 90 degrees. And 10. And go to 6 meters. And then have this sort of go over to, say, there. And down to 3 meters. Then have it go down to... Come on. Can I just get that to connect? Probably not. I mean, that's a little bit steep. Oh, come on, cities. Let me do this. Let me do this. Can I maybe get a parallel train line running here instead? Because if I can do that, then it's no problem. Let's try that. Which runs to... there. Ish. Oh boy, this is going to be a little bit steep. Hold on, let's try that. And let's try turning on snapping and that. There we go. That seems okay. Bit steep there. Definitely. Definitely not ideal. Let's try fixing that. Let's just run this straight along a little bit further. That's better. Alright. I like that. That seems fine. Still a little bit steep there, but otherwise, I think that works. Definitely lets the trains sort of go that way. As for this side, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what to do with this side. I could probably... Yeah, I can sort of have it curve over that way. Which I guess works. We'll take it down to 3 meters. Oh, that is ugly. Okay, so it's not perfect, but I think this does the job. I say I think it does the job. I mean, it does the job. The trains are moving, so it definitely does the job. It's just not the prettiest intersection for trains that you've ever seen, but I'm not very good at train intersections anyway, so it's fine. Okay, so to wrap things up, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start laying out the roads for this area on this side of the river. And to do that, I'm just going to follow the grid. I am just going to make it a grid. It is basically going to be that. That's the way the particular theme that I want to use works best. So a grid is my particular weapon of choice. So we're just going to follow these lines, line everything up as best we can, and hope for the best. Now that side there has a little bit of a change because of the train line. So what I'm going to do is pop to this end and go as far as I can whilst maintaining that we are still using, you know, regular measurements and all that stuff. And by that, I mean, I want to make sure I'm always, you know, to the nearest 10 in terms of units. So in this case, I can't really go that far. So we'll go instead a total of 30 units. Then in this case, we can go 30 units as well. In fact, this case, we could... No, we can't go to 10, so it is in fact 30. And that's basically the way this whole area is going to be measured. This area also can't go to 10. So basically, this area along the waterfront will just end up being some kind of park, much in the same way I have done with the downtown area as well. Now, this bit of road here might be able to... Yep, that can go back up to 40. This bit can go to 50? Yeah, I can get away with that. This bit can go to 60. And this bit's going to be a little different because it has this road and this on the left to deal with, so... or maybe it doesn't have to be. Maybe it can go... like that. Then this bit can also continue a bit further. So that's fine. Obviously, just a big old series of grids, but I'm not that concerned about it, to be honest. So... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off that bit. And I want to try to... I mean, I could just go straight like that, which I might very well do. I'm kind of wanting to try and connect all these together. And now this one's going to be pretty much impossible to do that with, so I can just go to there. The only downside there is I kind of lose the straight edges of the grid. So maybe we do that. Maybe we go and we take zoning off of these roads just here. And we'll do the same here as well, because I don't really think I want anything done by the down by the riverside. So get rid of those bits too. And that's fine, because I want a zone on that side of the road. And as for this middle section here, let's see just how close we can get. That might be a good spot for it there. So let's go that far. And let's go like that far. And let's get one more in here, because I know I can do it. I can go to about there. That seems all right to me. I like this curving bit through the middle. I still like that. I know it looks a bit weird, but I do legitimately like it. As for connecting all of this to that road, though, I'm not really sure what the best way to do it might be. Because obviously we have the road going under this avenue here. So maybe what I do is I change this road into an avenue. Like so. And we'll change this one into an avenue as well. And that seems alright to me. What I'll do is I'll turn this middle bit into a 8-lane road, which I think is fair to do. And then we could, in theory, just connect directly to this road. I mean, obviously, adding a junction is not the most efficient thing, but for the time being, I mean, that would be a way to get traffic in there. I don't think I will do that, though. I think that's a little bit messy. I don't think it looks very good. I do kind of like just the roads here, and I'm probably going to change a lot of those to be one-way roads as well, so those aren't really going to be hanging around for too long. I am curious to know, though, if I turn that into, yeah, we sort of have the rightmost lane being used as a potential turning lane. I also don't necessarily think we need 6 lanes there either. I like the divider. I really, really like the divider. So I think with that, we are now pretty much set to go ahead and have this area built up. Like I said, I'm not going to do that today because I do want to, you know, do it properly, do it justice, make it look good and all that stuff. But I can always get the roads in today. I don't see why that would be too much of a problem. We'll connect through like that, we'll connect like that. I am just going to do these diagonal roads as well because I guess I might as well. We'll do that kind of connection, and I think that looks all right. I think once I have those Brooklyn-style buildings in there, this area is going to look fantastic. I do obviously need to expand back this way a little bit. This could actually be an industrial space. We don't have any industrial space in Emerald City anymore. So getting some of that in here would be super good. But ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave it there for today. I will say I do apologize for a slightly weirder episode. I know that the time-lapse section was a little bit all over the place in terms of what was going on and all that stuff, but that's mostly down to me being ill, and I was also streaming the time-lapse section, so these things will happen. But that's going to be it for today. So thank you, Ken, for watching. This has been City Skylines and Emerald County Part 28, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!